I have a problem. Let me explain. So this tank is my problem. It's been a problem since I set it up, really. There's always something to fix. So every single maintenance session was always, what am I fixing today? There was things I wasn't paying attention to. There was little issues happening that I could have fixed that I didn't. And then, as you know, with my last video, I've told you I moved house recently, and I just haven't had the time to put into it. So that changes today. Let me explain what changes I've made so far. And there's so many changes, I've actually got a list on my phone. And generally I don't recommend changing too many things at once because then you won't understand what was wrong in the first place. And it could have been any of those 50 changes you made that actually fixed the root cause and the problem. These changes have been made over a long period of time. So maybe you make one change, wait a week, maybe a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, and see if that made a change first before making more changes. The first one was adding more plants. So as you can see in the carpet was Eutrichia graminefolia and it wasn't doing that well, and it's partly because I wasn't keeping up with my maintenance. It was growing, it was healthy, there was some melt, but that is very, very common, especially with a rich aqua soil like this, but it is totally possible to grow UG in aqua soil. It just wasn't doing well because the whole tank wasn't doing well. It needed something and I wasn't giving it. There just wasn't enough plants in the tank and the plants started to decay. In the background, even the stem plants, they weren't doing well, and the UG just wasn't growing, the carpet wasn't growing either. So I interplanted some hair grass, and this gave a bit more bulk, a bit more heavy plant mass to the tank, so it can outcompete that algae, and a heavier plant mass is always going to help. Another change I made was the lighting intensity. I brought the lighting intensity down because all these problems are happening, plants are melting, plants are not doing very well. They're not going to be able to use that extra light you're going to give them. So if there is problems, it's probably better to decrease the lighting intensity if possible, rather than add more light and hope that they grow better. So by decreasing the lighting intensity, we're giving that less chance for the algae to grow and giving a little bit of time for the plants to recover. Another thing I changed was the position of my filter outlet pipe. Previously it was at the front of the tank. Now this doesn't matter so much what it's like in my tank, because you've kind of just got to do the best in the individual tank. For example, different hardscapes block different areas of flow, so you've just got to try and find the right positioning of your filter outlet and inlet to give you the best flow throughout the whole tank. And that's what I did here, and I think it made a difference. I also added one of these, and this is a twin star sterilizer. It's the M3 model, and there's a lot of controversy if it actually makes a big difference or if it even works at all. But basically the concept is that it works through electrolysis, I think, and it creates little micro oxygen bubbles, and these little oxygen bubbles are meant to oxidize the free-floating algae or something along the lines of that. Basically, it sterilizes the water in some way. And I mean, the concept is cool, and if I think about it, it can only help because, oxygen. I don't want to get into it too much in this video, but I added this and every little thing can help. So why not add something that could help me with the algae? Down here you can see my CO2 setup with the fire extinguisher. I'm adding more CO2 now because previously I thought I didn't add enough, and the plants are going to do much better if I give them the right amount of CO2 in the water. But also you can see my filter over here. I've upgraded my filter. I was using an Awase Filter Smart 100 previously, which is a wee bit of a small filter to be using on a 60p tank, and it's just what I had at the time. But I've upgraded. This is the Biomaster 250 thermal, and I'm much happier with the flow rate around this size of tank. So you might be asking, what's the next step? And really it's just good plant husbandry, good water changes, weekly water changes, or even more water changes than that if needed. Adding more plants was great, and I think I've seen a difference with all those little changes I've made, but it's just consistency and consistent maintenance that will get this tank back on track. Adding the plants to the carpet, but also the cryptocorynes that I've added. I haven't talked about that, but I've added a lot more crypts to the background and to the, just changed out the plants to make it a bit more plant mass in this tank. And all those changes that I've talked about are hopefully going to make that difference when I use consistent maintenance along with it. So let's get started on that consistent maintenance today, and let's do a water change. First step is cleaning the glass. This is just a little sponge. You can use any sponge you have. This is a melamine sponge. So filters off and yeah, clean the glass. So the next step is using a siphon. This is a Python tubing, so it goes back to the sink. One of these little turkey basters dislodges waste. I'm also going to use a brush. I'm going to clean up the waste, remove it, and do my water change. This is the turkey baster method, where you simply use this turkey baster to dislodge the waste, and then you siphon up the waste. It's a really, really good method. I learned this one from Dennis Wong from the 2-Hour Aquarist. While I've got all the equipment out and I'm doing a water change anyway, I may as well just do one in this tank as well. That is the water going back in the tank right now. So if I do a water change like this, hopefully every single week, if maybe more if I can, then hopefully I'll have a beautiful planted aquarium. And I hope you've enjoyed the video, guys. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, leave me a comment and see what kind of videos do you want to see next? What kind of videos do you want to see? Little, I don't know, no filter tanks? Do you want to see little Dua setups? Do you want to see more videos like this? Let me know in the comments below. I'll see you next time, guys. Thank you. Bye-bye.